Question 15. Jane uses these ingredients to make Play-Doh. The Play-Doh for 2 children is plain flour 225 grams, oil 2 tablespoons, water 3/4 of a pint, and salt 140 grams. Now I'm going to write that 3/4 of a pint as 0.75 of a pint. And I can use a calculator to check that 3 divided by 4 is indeed equal to 0.75. Salt of 140 grams. Now part A, Jane wants to make enough Play-Doh for 10 children. Work out the amount of water Jane will need. Now it's just asking us for water here that Jane will need. Now if we've got the Play-Doh for 2 children, for one child, we can simply divide all these amounts by 2. So for water, we've got 0.75 of a pint for 2 children. If we divide that by 2, it will tell us what we need for one child. That'll be for one child, which will be 0.375. Then if we want to know for 10 children, if we times that by 10 for 10 children, will give us 0.375 times by 10, and we can use a calculator by that. We'll be moving our decimal point one place to give us 3.75 pints of water. Now part B, Jane has lots of oil and water, but only a 1.5 kilogram bag of plain flour and a 1 kilogram bag of salt. What is the maximum number of children Jane can make Play-Doh for? You must show your working. Now for one, so we're looking at plain flour and salt. So we need to see how many portions we can get out of a 1.5 kilogram bag of plain flour and a 1 kilogram bag of salt for one child. So our amount for one, if we know for 2 children is 225 grams, for one child, if we divide that by 2 using a calculator, we'll get 112.5 grams of flour. And for salt, if we divide that by 2, or using a calculator, we'll get 70 grams. So for flour, we know for one child, we need 112.5 grams. So if we take our 1.5 kilogram bag, 1.5 kilograms is equal to 1,500 grams, because 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So if we take our 1,500 and we divide that by 112.5 using a calculator, that comes to 13.333 recurring portions of flour. Now we need to do the same thing for our salt. For our salt, one child is 70 grams. We need 70 grams of salt for every one child. So if now we've got a 1 kilogram bag of salt, 1,000 grams divided by 70 using a calculator gives us the answer of 14.2857. Now we can get just over 14 helpings of salt out, but only just over 13 helpings of flour. So it says what's the maximum number of children. So the maximum number of children, so the maximum children that you can make this for is actually equal to 13 children. 13 children that you can make it for.